Hello, Pastor Keith here again, live from the Res Life Rogers Heights Studios, aka my basement. Today is Wednesday, April 1st. Insert April Fool's Day joke here. Today is the day that we kick off the first round of our FPB, Favorite Person in the Bible tournament. You can see our graphic here. Thank you to all of you who voted in our play-in matchups from yesterday. We had somewhere between 68 and 600,000 votes, so thank you. Before we get to our first round matchups, we need to reveal the results and show you who moved on to the next round. So we had 8 people vying for the final 4 spots in our 32-person FPB tournament. Based on your votes, because it's all about you, the viewers, here are the results. So play-in matchup number 1, we had Enoch versus Sarah. We had 2 oldies. Remember, that's our Old Testament contestants going head-to-head here. And the winner was Sarah by a score of 43 to 25. Enoch fans, it's okay. He's still listed in Hebrews 11 in the Hall of Faith. You can always hang his hat on that. Play-in matchup number 2, we had Nehemiah versus Timothy. Hopefully you read up on both of these guys, learned a little bit more about them. But in this oldie versus newbie matchup, there can only be one winner, and that winner was clearly Timothy. Wow, this was a blowout. Our blowout of the day, Timothy handled Nehemiah by a score of 50 to 13. Good thing Nehemiah is good at rebuilding things, because he's going to have to rebuild his self-confidence after being demolished by Timothy. Now, before we get to the results of our other 2 play-in matchups, I need to explain something, what our plans are in the case that we run into a tie in any of our matchups. So in the event of a tie, a fleece garment will be created for each of the contestants in that specific matchup. One of their names will be on each of the garments, and the garments will be placed outside overnight. Whichever garment has the least amount of dew on it in the morning will be the winner. And note from our producer, if Gideon is involved in a tiebreaker, we're going to have to look at different options because he has an unfair advantage in that system. So play-in matchup number 3, we had Mordecai versus John the Apostle. Oldie versus newbie. The win went to John the Apostle by a score of 44 to 20. Sorry, Mordecai fans, you can go ahead and jump on to the Esther bandwagon for the rest of the tournament. And our final play-in was matchup number 4. That was yet another oldie versus newbie showdown. It was Eve versus Joseph, Jesus' dad, and the winner of this matchup is Joseph. The final score in this one, again, it was not close. 51 for Joseph, 18 for Eve. It looks like after all these years, that original sin in the garden is still coming back to bite Eve. So we now have our field of 32 set. That means today we're going to bring you our first 4 first-round matchups. Much like the NCAA tournament, we have 4 regions in our FPB bracket. So today we're going to be discussing the first region, which is the Jericho region. Just a little reminder, if you're not familiar with brackets, each bracket is seeded. So in each region there are 1 through 8 seeds. So the 1 seeds are the favorites, the most well-known, the most well-loved people from the Bible. And then the 8 seeds would be the major underdogs. Nothing against them, but they're just not as well-known, well-loved. But remember, you and your votes will determine where they really stand. So how many upsets will we see? Who knows? Get your seatbelts on. Here we go. So matchup number 1 of the first round in the Jericho region is our number 1 seed in the region, David, versus our number 8 seed, Sarah. Sarah's reward for making it through the matchup yesterday was to square off against none other than David, a man after God's own heart, King David. So in this 1 versus 8 matchup, do your homework, cast your vote on who your favorite person is. Our second matchup in the Jericho region today is the number 4 seed, Isaac, versus the number 5 seed, Mary, Jesus' mom. Now we have Jesus' other parental unit in action today. In this matchup, it should be a close one, folks. We have Isaac, the miracle child of Abraham and Sarah, the father of Jacob and Esau. Get to know Isaac a little more before you place your vote in this matchup. And then we have Mary, Jesus' mom. Need we say more? Mary, did you know that one day you'd be going head-to-head against Isaac in the FPB tournament? So it's the time of our broadcast where we'd like to thank our sponsors. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Paul and Dom's Hair Gel. This line of hair gel is easy, effortless, and leaves behind 0 residue. No fuzz, no frizz. It's like your hair is not even there. Order Paul and Dom's Hair Gel from any of your luxury beauty stores. Save 20% today with the coupon code NOHAIR, DON'T CARE. Back to our Jericho region matchups. We have the number 3 seed Noah versus the number 6 seed Samson. Two oldies here going head to head. Noah, the guy who built the ark, versus Samson, the guy with the long hair, the Israelite who lived the Nazarite life. Remember, this isn't an arm wrestling competition. It's about who you think is your favorite person in the Bible between these Old Testament legends. And then our last matchup today for the Jericho region, it pits our number 2 seed Adam versus the number 7 seed Solomon. Adam, the first person ever created as a number 2 seed? Scoff. Versus King Solomon, known for his wisdom and wealth, among other things that you'll have to research and study before you cast your vote in this matchup. So we'll have a new link here today that'll bring you to our entire 32-person tournament. You'll notice that all of the first round matchups are actually open right now, but we want to give you the proper time to study and research each of these matchups. So we're only discussing 4 matchups every day. We ask that you only vote on the 4 matchups that we're talking about today, unless you're tuning in at a later date and you need to catch up from the previous day's vote. We'll post the new link in the video description and in the comments for you to go and cast your vote. Remember, it's 1 vote per web browser, so if you have multiple people in your house who want to vote, you either need to go to a different web browser or use a different device so everybody can submit their own vote. And last but not least, by popular demand, if you want to compete with your own bracket, predicting who the winner of each and every matchup will be all the way to the championship, be on the lookout for detailed instructions we'll be posting about how you can complete and send your own bracket to us. We're going to call this our FPB Prophetic Prediction Contest. So by Monday morning at 9, we'll need to have received your bracket. That's when the first round of voting will close for all regions. We need to have your brackets by then. So we'll give you directions in a separate post. So this is going to be exciting. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, dive into your Bibles, help us determine who your favorite person in the Bible is. God bless you, and God bless America. Happy voting.